Let's talk about some new ways that leaders need to think in a changing world. And what a pleasure it is to welcome Fletcher, a social futurist and the head of the 2020 Plus international think tank based in London. Hello, Mal. Welcome to 2020.
Hello, Neil. Nice to be with you.
Mal, you are described as a social futurist. What does a social futurist do?
Well, it's not about crystal ball gazing, Neil, I can tell you that. Social futurism really is about looking at current shifts in social values, social ethics, technology, all areas of change that affect social groups, and then mapping what that might mean if we continue along that line for businesses, for charities and NGOs, for governments and for churches over the next 10 to 15 years. So it's really about tracking present change in order to understand where we might be headed if we continue along this route in the next few years.
Oftentimes people talk about the rate of change continuing to accelerate, and sometimes they're referring to technology, but change in a lot of different areas means that leaders in particular have to be abreast of a lot more than perhaps they needed to in generations gone by.
Yes, indeed. I think leadership is doubly important in an age of rapid change because leaders are, by virtue of their gifting or their vocation, if you will, cultural architects. They shape the culture in support of certain values. We're living in the age of what I call micro-brand. You know, everybody wants to be a brand today, which is what, in many ways, social media is about. We're in the age of micro-activism, too, where we don't any longer gather in large crowds to bring about social change. We do it online, one-on-one, in a micro form. And in the midst of that, leaders, I think, add a premium service. They're able to connect the dots of change, to make sense of change, to connect people into worthwhile causes in the midst of change, and, of course, to bring focus in an age of a great deal of distraction. So leadership's more important in an age of rapid change.
Mal, as we talk about some of the changes happening in our world, you talk about a concept called collaborative innovation. What do you mean by collaborative innovation?
Well, Neil, in the age of mass communication, which is driven by the digital revolution, we've seen the emergence of mass collaboration. People now are able to connect en masse on the internet to try to solve previously intractable problems. They're doing that with science. NASA today has 30,000 what they call click volunteers. These are just everyday people working on their computers at home to help NASA map the movements of planets through the skies. There are great breakthroughs because of collaboration in medicine. People now with serious conditions uploading their medical records and inviting other people to send suggestions about how they could manage or even, perhaps in some cases, cure their ailments. So in the age of mass collaboration, I think leaders need to demonstrate that they are open to alliance building, to sharing information, to working on a bigger scale to solve major problems. People want to feel that they're part of organizations, whether it's a business or a church or a charity. It's having a large impact because it's committed to forming alliances beyond its own front door.